Hello and welcome to how to use arrays. So I wanted to do a generalized concept video about arrays so you understand what they are and when you should be using them. So an array is created by creating a new variable and choosing it from the drop down next to your variable type. So you've got single, array, set, and map. Array here is selectable. As a shortcut, though, you can also, down here in the bottom left, you can right click on the variable type and it'll convert it back and from to and from, sorry, the single and array type. So what is an array? An array is a list, essentially. It's an ordered list. Ordered is a key part of this. With an array, when I add elements to my array, I can type in cheese, for example. I can type in ham. Ooh, if I can spell ham right. And do lettuce. But array can also have duplicates. So I can actually have another one in there called ham. And it'd be totally okay with that. This is very different from a set or map, which can't have duplicates. They have to have unique ones. So an array, you can have duplicates as many as you like. And the array is really clever because you can keep adding to it and you increase the size of it. Now, in memory terms, in computer science terms, an array is kind of stored together. So when we resize it, that's important to note in that we can have empty array elements. So, for example, ham here could be just deleted and left blank. And what that'll mean is that our array length is still 4. We've still got 4 elements, it's just that one of them is blank. So there are lots of different things you can manage with an array. If I just drag it out and from here, and if you go down to the utilities options and array, you can see the different options you have. Now, I won't go through every single one of them, but I'll give you a few key ones you should know about. So the first one, you've got add and add unique. These two nodes look similar, but operate very uniquely in that add will allow duplicates into the array, whereas add unique will first of all check to see if there's a duplicate, and if there is, it won't add it. It will only make sure there's only one unique entry. So this is very useful when you're doing references to objects because you may not want to have duplicate references. So yeah, be aware of those two differences. And the output you get for here is the index that they're in. In the array as well, you've got append array, so you can combine two arrays together. You can clear the array, so you can empty it completely. You can do contains item, so you can check whether or not it contains a certain item. This is useful for things like strings, and you want to see if it contains the array, in the array, a certain string. You can output true or false, useful for those branches you're making. And we've got find item. This finds the first instance of the item. So this will go through in order and output the first one. Again, quite useful, especially when you have duplicates, you can keep going. So if I put in ham in here, for example, and I search for ham, this would output the value of 1 because ham is first found in index 1. So it goes in order. Other key ones we have got the for each loop, which you're probably familiar with. This allows you to go through each element in the array and doing some code on it. Using it for various things. Very useful when you've got arrays of all sorts of types and sizes. And you've also got get a copy and get a reference. So this one usually confuses people about what the difference is between these two. And you can tell what the difference is by looking at the pin at the end. The pin here is a circle, whereas this pin's a diamond. So get a copy will get you a copy of that element of that array. So when this outputs this here, this is going to be a separate, different string than the one that's in the array. It's just a copy of it. It's just, you can do it. So if I was to do something to this and say like set, append, like do this, for example. If I do append blue, for example, that return value is different from what's inside of the array. It's completely separate. Yeah. So getting a copy is useful if you want to do non-destructive stuff. So you like doing appends and things like that, and you may be doing for calculations. And it's probably the most common one you're using. Get a reference though. This is going to be a string that is directly referencing one in here. So if I was to change something in this, it directly influence what I'm doing with it. So this is not a great example of strings, but if we were saying this is a reference to an actor, I can then set a value on that actor without sending it back to the array, and it would update the array. So that's where that comes in useful, is mostly when you want to change actor properties that are inside of an array. And there's a bunch of them. We're not going to go through every single one of them, but other useful ones are random array item. So if you want to pick one at random, you can do. And we've also got shuffle. So if you want to randomize them up, you can do. But the other one I want to show you is set array element. Now, set array element, you pass through an index and you pass through the item. This will directly change the item in there. So if I were to put in index 0 and item ham, that would change the first index here, index 0, to ham. Now, if I were to put in index 6 and ham, this won't work because there's no 6th index. Okay, but if I were to tick size to fit, this will expand the array up until I got the 6th index, and then that one will set ham here. Important to note though is that 4 and 5 will still be generated. It will be just that they're left blank. Okay, so bear that in mind when you do tick size to fit. It will expand open but leave everything blank that doesn't currently have a value. So when should you use an array? An array is useful when you want to do a list that is ordered. So when you care about the order of something, you want to use an array. So for example, if you're doing an inventory system, if you want the character to have an inventory slot where they can manage it and decide which items go in what slots and what order they should go in, an array is best because we can order it and make sure it's consistently the same order every single time they load it up. Whereas if we don't care about the order, we just want to display it as is, we can use something like a map, for example, instead. Because we don't care about the order. The player can't change the order, we can't sort them, so they prefer to use a map maybe. Also, we want to use an array if we are expecting duplicates. So for example, if your inventory system is going to allow slots that can have different size stacks. So let's say we've got an example of like Minecraft where you have a stack of apples in one slot and another stack of apples in another slot. That would make sense to be an array because you've got 2 slots that are set to apples. You know, they're 2 separate things. Regardless of whether or not you can manage it and move it around, because they are 2 the same, we can't use sets or maps, we have to use an array. And lastly, one key thing about an array is if you done remove index, say like I say remove index 0, that would get rid of index 0, okay? But much like over here, if I were to delete index 0, everything else gets pushed up. So now index 0 becomes ham. It's not the same as it was before. And that's important to notice. When you remove items from here, it all gets squashed together. You can't have like an index that's like null. You can't have nothing in like you can have empty ones, but you can't just remove it and expect like a null value or anything like that in there. So it will squash it all down and move it along. So it's great for doing like queue systems where you want first in, first out type of queue. It's very good for that sort of thing. And likewise, also good for first in, last out too. If you want to do it the other way around, remove the last index every single time, you can totally do that too. By just grabbing from the array and getting the last index from there. And that will remove the last one that entered it. So if you're doing like a stack where you get first in, last out, this will handle that. Otherwise, you just leave it at 0 and it always removes the first item in the queue. So again, very useful for doing situations like that when you want to do a queue system. So when you're sending instructions to something, you could send it as an array and it would execute those instructions in that particular order. But there you go. There's a brief overview of arrays and how they work. Hopefully you found this useful. If you didn't know too much about arrays and didn't know when to use them, if you like, if there are any other concepts that you want to talk about, please let us know in the comments below and we'll do another how-to video about various different concepts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Laley, where you can find all my videos early before everyone else. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.